Well, hello there. I know that my channel's name is called Painting with Marta, and you may be wondering why I have drawing videos in there. The reason is I consider drawing the foundation for painting, especially for realist painters like me. But there are many different tools for drawing. My favorite one is charcoal. And this is what I'm going to be focusing on this video. However, there are many different forms of charcoal, and one will be the absolute best. So stick around if you want to find out. These are the main variety of charcoal that you're going to find. Now there will be far more than this, but they will all fall within these categories. This is charcoal powder and is the most volatile, and I'll show you in a minute. And this is vine charcoal and willow charcoal all spread out in different sticks. This is also vine charcoal, but it's much thicker, and you can find them in many different thickness in the stores. This is nitron charcoal, and it's a mixture between the pencil and vine charcoal because it holds his shape and is really good for drawing the contours and the main drawing in the composition. And it comes, of course, in different softness. I only use the soft ones. These are the pencils. This is the hard pencil. All HBs are the hardest. And this is a little bit softer. Now that's a B. And this is Primo, that is the brand. And this is general charcoals, and it is extra soft. So it comes from the hardest one to the softest ones, which is usually 6. All right, and this is compressed charcoal that comes in different softness too, from the hardest to the softest. I only like to use the soft ones. The hard ones leave too many scratches on the paper. And then my favorite one for the darkest darks would be this really chunky one, and you can order them in specialized stores online, and you can cut it in different pieces. See, this is being cut in a little chunk for more precise darkness. And now you're gonna see now how I use them all in action and why I like one over another one. The first thing I'm going to show you is the powder. Now, I sprinkle powder around, and this usually I do at the beginning of each drawing. And powder is great at the beginning to tone down the paper because it's extremely volatile. You can spread it around with your fingers to tone the paper. You can also spread it around with a brush, however you want. So this is great at the beginning to tone down your paper. The second one I'm going to show you will be nitron charcoal, and this is a cross between vine and the pencil. And the reason why I like it is because it holds its shape and it is clean. It's not very powdery. You see my hands from the powder before? All right, so this doesn't leave barely any marks. And you can make very precise lines that will keep their shape. But also, they can be blended. It can be blended very nicely. And I'm gonna show you right now. See, with the finger, nice and clean. And it can be erased with all sorts of erasers. This is the kneaded eraser, so you can erase it. The only drawback is that because it's very stiff, it can lend itself towards too much detail and not enough looseness at the beginning. So the next one I'm going to show you is the pencil. Now with the pencil, you can see already that it's substantially darker. You can blend it too, anyone you want, but as you can see, it's much darker. And when you're going to erase, it is harder. See, less of the pigment comes off, even with different erasers. With this one, it's completely almost gone. If you want it to be almost gone with this one, not so much, right? This is the harder too. This is HB. No, actually, this is the extra soft. This is a little harder right here, even though it's still soft. But see, it's leaving stronger marks in here. So this is even harder to erase. See, it's not easily, you can't erase it as easily as this one. The next one I'm going to show you is the compressed charcoal. The compressed charcoal has a lot of binder on it. But you can get the most delicious darks. And you can see it right here. You blend it in, look at that absolute darkness, right? Just beautiful. But what happened is this, look at what I'm trying to erase. Ooh, it's hard to erase, isn't it? You can still see it. And it is too much contrast. So this is much better at the end of the drawing, when you really know where you are, right? The next one I'm gonna show you is this chunky one. And this, I really like it because you can cover a lot of territory. If you want a dark, if you want an area that needs to be really dark, this is a lot like compressed charcoal too, but it's a mixture between compressed and soft because it's more pastelish and it gets really, really dark. Now erasing it, woo, not so much. Difficult to erase. I mean, you can really dig in it, right? And dig in it, but now it's too much contrast. See, this is not nice. It doesn't have a nice soft gradation like this. So this is best for the end when you really know what you're doing. So now we're getting to my absolute favorite one, and that is vine. And why do I like vine? I like vine because look what happens. I can lay down, I can use it in the place of powder if I want. Can use it at the beginning and create a very nice gray. I can use it to draw. But it can stay. The marks can stay. And I can use softer gradations. And then when it comes to eraser, I can erase it, no problem. I can use all sorts of erasers to erase it. So I'm going to show you next different drawings that I've done in different stages. Now, the vine charcoal, I love it at the beginning stages, but I've also done several drawings from the beginning to the end with just vine, and I'm going to show you. And I haven't done any drawings at all with just compressed from the beginning to the end or just pencil. I haven't because they're just too harsh. And this is the reason why I think the vine is absolute best, because it's very versatile. You can blend it really nicely. You can add a lot of dark. See, if you want it really dark, you can make it really, really dark. And if you want it very light, you can make it very light. And then the transition between both is very easily blended, unlike here. In here, you can get really nice, soft gradations. Here is the paper prepared at the beginning with coffee and powder sprinkled all around, and then removed with a little bit of eraser, soft eraser, and a cloth. Here is the powder and drawing with vine, all softened up already on a tinted paper with a little bit of coffee, and this is ready for the initial drawing. The beginning of a drawing for a painting that I did later, and this is just vine on canvas. Now this was the completed painting in oil that I did from the drawing that I just showed you. This is a completed drawing separate, and is completely finished, and you can see that I have applied the vine charcoal at first, and then I have use all the pencils to refine all the features. Here is the completed drawing for a painting that I did in just vine charcoal. Here is another drawing, and this is the beginning too, and it's just vine charcoal, and you can see it's all applied very loosely. And here is the finished drawing of the same sketch, and you can see how I used basically all of the tools that I have, from the powder at the very beginning, and then the vine charcoal, and then using the pencils to refine all features, to the compressed charcoal at the very end for the darkest lights, and even the chunkiest really dark charcoal for some elements of the dress, the top of the eyes, the background, and some of the mouth. Here is a completed drawing step by step. This is a softer approach. And these are all completed drawings in just vine. I didn't use anything else other than vine charcoal. I know I show you many different kinds of charcoal and it can get confusing. So my advice to you is to pick one and stick with it for a while before exploring a new one. So now that you find out which charcoal is absolute best, you may want to watch this other video to see me using it in action.